The United Nations Command is a multinational coalition force which monitors the Korean armistice and helps maintain regional stability in Northeast Asia. The UNC Security Battalion was established in the spring of 1952, originally consisting of 5 officers and 10 enlisted men. We reached our peak strength near the end of the Korean War with over 1,900 personnel assigned. Currently, we have an approximately of 600 personnel assigned, over 90% of which are Republic of Korea or ROK soldiers. To place your tour into better context, I will briefly review the political history of the Korean Peninsula. Prior to World War II, the Japanese had colonized the Korean Peninsula. In the final days of World War II, the Soviet Union accepted the surrender of the Japanese north of the 30th parallel, while the United States accepted the surrender of the Japanese in the south. The 38th parallel was not meant to be a political boundary nor a division of country. It was merely established to designate areas of responsibilities. So in May 1948, elections were held in the south, and this man, Dr. Sigmund Rhee, was elected to be the first president of Republic of Korea. In September of that same year, the Soviet Union appointed Kim Il-sung to be the first premier of Communist North Korea. He reigned approximately 46 years until his death in July of 1994. His eldest son, Kim Jong-il, succeeded him in power. This was the first father-to-son succession of power ever to take place in a communist country. Despite negotiation and attempts to reunify the Korean Peninsula, on 25 June 1950, North Korea launched a massive surprise attack. This ensuing war lasted over 3 years and cost more than 2 million people their lives. Within 1 month of the attack, North Korean forces had captured most of the Korean Peninsula. Coalition forces finally stopped North Korea's army's advance near the city of Busan. Over the next 4 months, the United Nations Command conducted the Incheon landing and pushed North Korean forces back to the Yalu River, the border between North Korea and China, at which point the Chinese army entered the war and aided the North Koreans in their war efforts. The war began to stabilize around the 30th parallel, although a permanent settlement has not yet been reached. On 27 July 1953, all military commanders of the UNC, Korean People's Army, Chinese People's Volunteers signed an armistice or a ceasefire agreement to end the fighting. This agreement is still in effect today. The border between North and South Korea has remained relatively the same ever since. This white dotted line represents the Military Demarcation Line, or MDL. Under the provisions of the armistice, all military commanders were ordered to pull the troops back 2,000 meters from the last point of hostile contact, thus creating 4-kilometer wide, 241 kilometers long demilitarized zone, or DMZ. Note the location of Seoul in its relationship to the military demarcation line. We are currently located here at Camp Bonifas, 400 meters from the southern boundary of the DMZ and 2.4 kilometers from the military demarcation line. This is the city of Kaesong. It was the original site of the armistice talks prior to being moved to the Panmunjom, or what we call Joint Security Area. Although the DMZ has become one of the most militarized locations in the world, the MDL itself consists of no fortification. It is simply a series of 1,292 yellow and black panel markers that run coast to coast and spaced at 100 to 200 meters interval. On the southern side, these signs are labeled in Hangul or Korean at the top and English at the bottom, while on the northern side, they are labeled in Hangul at the top and Chinese at the bottom. Within the Joint Security Area itself, the MDL is more clearly defined by a series of white sticks that stand approximately at 1 meter in height and spaced at 10-meter interval, which further extended onto Conference Road by a 17 by 5 inch slab of concrete that runs between the building. As we travel up north today, this is the area that we will be visiting. Note how the MDL winds its way to the middle of the DMZ and forms a finger inside the Joint Security Area. Upon arriving here today, you'll be surrounded on 3 sides by Communist North Korea. You begin your tour here at Camp Bonifas, then exit onto MSR-1, or Man Supply Route. This is also known as Old Highway 1. For over 50 years, this was the only stretch of highway that connected North and South Korea until the agreement was made to open the East and West transportation corridors. MSR-1 is still the only route that leads to the JSA for all armistice-related events. As we travel up north today, I will point out Guard Post 240 or GP240, Observation Post Olet or OPO, Village of Taesangdong or Freedom Village, Village of Gijeongdong or Propaganda Village, the Neutral Nation Supervisory Commission Camp or NNSC Camp, the former Czech and Polish NNSC Camp. I will now highlight in more detail a few areas that we will see today. First is the village of Taesangdong or Freedom Village. The UNC Security Battalion is responsible for implementing civil affairs and security within this unique village. We carry out our responsibilities to a security company that guards this village 24 hours a day. During the day, they provide security to the farmers while they work in the field. And at night, they guard the resident while they are asleep. The residents all have modern homes and rather larger location of farmlands. However, they do live under some severe restriction. They must be in the village by nightfall and inside their home with the doors and windows secure by midnight. 1,800 meters away from the village of Taesangdong across the MDL is the village of Gijeongdong or Propaganda Village. It gave it this name due to an extremely large speaker system located throughout the area that until June of 2004 broadcasted propaganda 6 to 12 hours a day. This could be heard here at Camp Bonifas, but mostly at night. This propaganda idolized Kim Jong-il to be a great leader and invited the citizens of Taesangdong as well as the rest of the republic to defect to this so-called village of paradise. However, if one were to defect, they will find themselves rather lonely as this village is mostly uninhabited. We do see people from time to time who work at the Kaesong Industrial Complex maintain the upkeep of this building and raise and lower this extremely large North Korean flag. This is one of the largest flags in the world and has an approximate length of 31 meters. This is the second of two flagpoles ever to stand in the village of Gijeongdong. In 1981, the Republic of Korea donated a flagpole to the village of Taesangdong, which stood taller than the original flagpole in the village of Gijeongdong. So the North Koreans quickly responded by building an even taller flagpole. Today, the flagpole in the village of Taesangdong stands approximately at 100 meters in height, while the flagpole in the village of Gijeongdong stands at over 160 meters in height. As we enter the joint security area today, I will point out